Hello, everybody. I'm hoping that I'm now streaming live. This is the first time I've used StreamYard, so I hope there's no technical gremlins, but bear with me if there are. I'm here to talk to you about the new in8 membership community that Bindi and I have been busily working towards over the past couple of years, actually. We're launching it this week, and you may have had emails from me if you're watching. If you're watching, say hi, put a post in the comments so that I can see who's online and where you're based, or just something to say hello. Yeah, we've been working towards this for some time. We've actually been studying the whole subject of how you set up a successful membership site, because we feel very strongly that the time is right now to take some of the organizing ideas that we were trained in as psychotherapists, which is the work we've both done for the last 15 years. We have between us about 30 years experience as therapists. But we see a huge opportunity, and now especially in this weird time that we're living in, with lockdown and with the changes to our routines, a lot of people are stressed. A lot of people are worried for legitimate reasons. We understand that. But we believe that the best you can do in any situation, whatever challenges you face, is to look to getting your innate needs met as well as possible. And this is one of the fundamental organizing ideas that underlines our approach. We were trained as human givens therapists. And I know human givens, you may be familiar with that term, you may not be familiar with that term. It's important to know that you don't have to be a human givens therapist to use these ideas and to benefit from being part of this membership. I've got a lot to say about it, but I really want to focus on the questions that have been posed and make sure I answer those first. Later on, Bindi and I will do just a very quick demonstration of the way that you can use the resources that we publish in an online format. Because one of the things that I'm very aware of is that when coaches, therapists, counselors are in this situation we're in right now, we've got to find new ways of working, new ways of reaching people. And the resources that we've been publishing for some years are available in a digital format, and it makes it really ideal for a way of sharing content with clients, with people that you're trying to help, in order for them to make improvements in the quality of their life, regardless of the challenges that they're facing. And in a way, we kind of feel that actually this is the perfect time to be launching this, because the tools we've got work. They work in both the physical format and also an online format. And we're really passionate about the ideas. We love doing this work. And our mission is to spread the ideas to the wider world where more people can benefit. And that may include people who are interested in psychotherapy, but it also goes beyond that. So we've done a lot of work with carers groups, with all sorts of groups of different kinds of formats. And we just really want to share these ideas with you and see if you are interested in running with them too, because we think there's a huge opportunity for you to grow your business, to reach more clients, to be more effective, and generally for everybody to win. So without any more ado, let me dive into the questions. If you have a question, please post it in the comments now so that we can address it. I'm going to start with one from Claire, who asked, will we be covering other human givens ideas? And the answer to that is yes. We intend to share whatever's useful, whatever works. And because we're very familiar with and very passionate about the human givens approach, we will be exploring other aspects of that. But I want to point out very clearly, this is not going to be a substitute for therapy. And there are certain things that you will not be able to do using just our resources in an online format. So for instance, we won't be using the rewind technique for addressing trauma, even though it's a wonderful technique and it works really well. It relies on trance work, on guided imagery, and that's not something that we can make effective through this format. We won't be doing things like molar memories, but we will be teaching you how you can use the RIGAR framework, for instance, when you're doing meetings and when you're doing group work. We will be covering APET, but we will also go a little beyond the human givens approach, because there are some new developments. Well, they're not that new, but they're still not widely known things like polyvagal theory, which has a real important thing to say about how people struggle when they're under stress. And we want to share these ideas with as many people who are interested as possible. And the key thing is we want to make it work for you. So if you're thinking about joining this membership, right now you have a unique opportunity, because we only want a small group of people for the first cohort, because we want to get involved with these people on quite a personal level, so that you can help us shape the way the membership develops to make sure it suits your needs. And once the doors close for this offer, which is tomorrow night at midnight, up Friday, you won't be able to join the membership until we open it in a more general way later in the summer. Now, we haven't fixed a date for that yet, and we haven't fixed a price for that yet. But that was the question about, are we covering other HG ideas? I've got a question from Julie. She asked, would this, being a part of this membership group, would it qualify as therapy supervision? And my answer is no. This is not a substitute for therapy, and it isn't a substitute for supervision. Having said that, I believe wholeheartedly that it would be really valuable for anyone who works helping other people, whether it's counseling, psychotherapy, mentoring, coaching, life coaching, you name it. If your work involves helping other people to live a better life, then this will be relevant. But it doesn't count for supervision. It will probably count for CPD. If you want to claim that you're extending your skills and your techniques, it will be a relevant CPD qualification. So I'm not seeing any comments yet. I've got a message from Bindi. Say hello. That was in the private chat.
No, I think it's in live comments.
Oh, is it? Okay, fair enough. We're new to StreamYard, so bear with us. I should introduce Bindi at this point. Bindi is my life and business partner. I'm just going to make you the same size as me.
Easily done.
He was, supporting me and working with me on this. We've worked together for many years. We're both fellows of the Human Givers Institute. And although I'm taking the lead role on this, Bindi is heavily involved behind the scenes. And sometimes when we do like our online workshops, I kind of run the workshop and she does the admin in the background if anyone has any technical questions or issues or whatever. We're a team, we work together, and you'll be seeing more of both of us if you decide to take part in this. And as I said earlier on, if we get time, we'll do a little bit of an exercise showing you the kind of things that you might be able to expect from being part of this new membership group. So let me go back to the next question. This is from Sarah, who rang me to ask some questions yesterday. And she was asking, amongst other things, she asked, could I join? You may have noticed if you've looked at the membership where you purchase your subscription, that there are two options. You can either join at a monthly rate or you can join at an annual rate. Hello, Carmel. Lovely to see you here. Thank you for commenting. And so there's a monthly rate and an annual rate. And the annual rate is more cost effective. It's the price of 10 months. And the question that Sarah asked is, can I join at the monthly rate to try it out and then convert to the annual payment scheme in order to save money? And I regret to say the answer to that is no, I'm afraid not. The software that we're using to host the membership doesn't allow you to change horses midstream. You either go monthly or you go annually, and that choice is up to you at the start. Once you've made that choice, you have to stay with it as long as you're a member. And if you leave the founder member group, you can always come back at any time. That's no problem. We're really open to that. But in order to make this attractive, to get a small cohort of people to begin with, we're making the founder member rate lower than we will ever charge again. And if you were to leave and then rejoin, you'll have to pay the going rate then, which will be the rate that we charge for when we open it more generally in the summer. I hope that makes sense. So the founder rate will be the lowest rate that we ever charge for this, and it's only valid until the end of tomorrow, until Friday. So I'm afraid, no, you can't change from monthly to annual. You have to make that decision up front. It's also important for us because it allows us to plan ahead. You know, if we have a certain number of people who go for the annual rate, that we know that we have some kind of level of commitment there. The other thing I should say is there is a 30-day guarantee. You can have your money back, no questions answered. So you feel free to try it and see if you like it. I hope people will be honourable about this, rather than joining and downloading all the goodies and then leaving and wanting their money back. We will honour a money back guarantee, but we really hope to make it really valuable to you so that you want to stay. I have another question here from Anne, and she was asking that she was very clear that she had no interest really in doing group work, and she's been watching my videos for some time and knows that although we use these resources in one-to-one formats and we use them with couples work, we also use them in group formats from time to time. We run workshops, sometimes in person, sometimes online. She has no interest in doing group work. Is the membership still relevant, is the question. And my answer is absolutely yes. There will be some content based around group work, but it's a matter of for what people want. And if more people are interested in one-to-one client work, that's where the focus will be. And that's the beauty of joining at the start, because you can kind of get to shape the shape of this thing so that it works for you. I would say that if you're only working 1 or 2 days a week and it's kind of a tick over business and it's not your main thing, then this might not be for you, because we do hope to get people who are prepared to spend maybe between 30 minutes to an hour a week keeping up to date, doing exercises, communicating with other people, sharing their wins, sharing their ideas, their insights in the community. Because they say for successful memberships, people come for the content, but they stay for the community. And it's our intention, Bindi and myself, to make this a really vibrant community. And if you're not able to make any commitment to turning up, then this might not be the best thing for you, but it really is your choice. I've got nothing against people who want to pay the membership and just sit on the sidelines, but I really hope that you are more ambitious than that, because we know from our experience that if we can get people working together and sharing their ideas, everybody benefits. They say 2 heads are better than 1, but when you get a community of people coming together with a shared idea, it's incredibly powerful, and that's what we're hoping for.
Alec, can I say something at this point? Because I have had an email from someone who says that she's watching, but she's unable to make comments. So I just wanted to make it clear to everybody that we're really sorry if you're here and you can't make comments. This is our first attempt at using StreamYard, and I'm sure there's a way around it. First attempt at using StreamYard, and I'm sure there's a way around it. First attempt at using StreamYard, and
hello, that got confusing.
It did, didn't it? Yes,
So I have a suggestion. If you've got questions and you're not able to post them for whatever reason in the chat, then you could either put them in the Facebook page, and I will go on, Bindi.
Can I suggest that if anybody's got any questions, they text me right now. Okay. You make me a bit smaller so I don't look like I'm there doing nothing. And just put my number on the bottom line.
Put your number on. How do I do that?
I think there's a way of flashing something up.
Okay, well, I'm just going to post your number. So are you happy with that?
Yeah, I don't know where you're posting it.
In the chat, and then I can click on it and it'll come on the screen.
I can't see any chat apart from what I've said.
So read your number out to me because I'm emotionally aroused. 077
1
yeah
8 1 7 6 7 3 5.
So text Bindi on. Okay, now if I put that in the chat and then I show it, there you go.
That's it. Perfect.
Technology. There you go. I hope that's useful. Sorry about the blip, but if you text Bindi your question, we will be able to address it.
I have my phone ready.
Okay, next question. I didn't really finish off with what Anne was asking. Is it relevant if you don't want to do group work? Group work, yes. We think that there will be people watching this, either present now or on the replay, who are not therapists at all, but are interested in doing life coaching. We know we've got customers who buy our cards who use them in life coaching situations. And we think there's a fantastic opportunity. You could even design your own online life coaching course based around the cards, where you might sort of address one card each week or one card each day or whatever. And we really want to encourage people to take the initiative and to use the resources in creative ways. Don't worry about us being possessive about ownership. Yes, we have copyright on the images, and there are some elements about what we're doing that are protected. But actually, we want to get the message out there. Our mission is to make a massive positive impact on emotional health and well-being, and we need your help to do that. So if you've got an idea for putting your own course together using our resources, that's marvelous. We want to hear from you. We want to know how you want to do it, what the challenges you face are. We've got a lot of experience, even though it might not look like it tonight, using technology to provide these ideas in an online format. And we're here to help you. We're here to support you. So please, you don't have to be interested in group work for this to work. Okay, another question here from Jackie. Can I join for just a month to see how it goes? And the answer is yes, of course you can. You pay on a monthly basis, but you can leave at any time. Obviously, we want to make it so valuable that you never want to leave. That's our ambition, and I think we know how to do it. However, if you leave, you won't be able to come back at the founder member rate. So you can come back, but you'll probably have to pay more. That's the situation. Hope that's clear. Next question I've got from Mary Bateman Wang. She works with various age groups in community settings where she believes that this approach would be really useful. And I'm sure you're right, Mary. And she asks, am I eligible for this membership, or are we looking for more active professionals? And the answer is yes, Mary, you are eligible. And in fact, in some ways, you are more suited to being in this group than if you are a kind of a dyed-in-the-wool psychotherapist. Because if you're a psychotherapist, you've probably got some experience, you've got your own way of working, you've got your training, your professional backing, and you have your supervision. And we're not competing with that. What we're about is taking these ideas into the wider world, into community groups of various ages and various settings. And so we absolutely think that that is the way to improve well-being. Let's get people before they need psychotherapy. Let's help teach people how to live healthily, how to live optimistically in this time of great change. Because when you look at life from the perspective of needs and resources, it is possible to be optimistic, even in the face of the difficulties that we're currently facing. Sorry, Bindi, did you raise your hand? Yeah.
I've put a question in.
Excellent. Fine. So we've got Dawn here asking, will there be CPD certificates for the membership, and whether the meetings will be on this day and time every week? That's a good question. CPD certificates, I think probably not certificates. It's a bit like when you attend a conference or you attend a lecture or you read a book. There's not usually a formal component to that. There can be, and we do issue a certificate. Actually, it's the same Dawn that I think it might be. You may well have had the certificate when we run our online courses. We do issue a PDF form that you can use. But at the moment, we're not thinking of introducing any certificated part to the membership, but I'm open to ideas. If that's an important requirement, we will look at it again. At the moment, my understanding of CPD and the way I've done my own professional CPD is that I write down things where I've spent time keeping my skills up to date, developing my skills. But most of the things that I claim on my CPD aren't formally qualified in that way. So I think the answer is probably no, but I'm open to a conversation about it. And she says, and whether the meetings will be on this day and time every week. And that's certainly not the case at the moment. We haven't decided when would be the best time. Some of the stuff that we put out will be put out via email and in the membership site itself. and those can be digested at a time that suits you. The times when we get together in person like this, we will have to work out a time that works for most people. And that's part of the job of the founder member group, if you like, is to find out, well, you know, do people prefer it in the day or in the evening, in the week or at weekends? These are all things that we can happily be flexible to address. And maybe we'll do a bit of each so that if you miss one, that you get the other one, because I don't think we'll be able to satisfy everybody all the time. But at this stage, there's no specific intention to meet at 7 o'clock on a Thursday. We will be taking, if we haven't finished by 8, we will be taking a break at 8 tonight so that everybody can go out to the street and applaud the NHS staff for all that they're doing. But no, we haven't decided on the times yet. We do think there'll be some weekly live events, and we certainly intend to have a monthly Zoom call and a monthly Q&A session. But the details, it's very early days for us at this stage, and we don't want to have it too well worked out, because if we have an idea of what we think you need, and actually it turns out that what people really want is something slightly different, we'd be off on the wrong footing. So we want to listen and to support the people who choose to be a part of this initiative. And then we can all get creative and figure out what works best for everybody. That's how communities work. So I hope I've answered that one. That was from Mary and Jackie. I think that's all the questions I've got at the moment. Have you got any others, Bindi? Was that a shaped head?
Yeah, nothing's come through so far. You know, the number's still there if anybody wants to send me a message. Excellent.
Okay. And say hello. Just drop a message to say hello to Bindi's text if you've got free text on your phone. Nice.
I think something on this that is different to Zoom is I cannot see anybody else's messages apart from my own.
Right. Interesting.
So I think you
not see Carmel's?
No.
So Carmel commented at 7:08 saying, "Hi, Alec and Bindi, I'm here listening to you." So on the right-hand side of your screen, Bindi, there are comments, banners, brand, private chat. The one at the top.
No, I haven't got all that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we live and learn. We'll be more expert at live stream next time you see us. That's
StreamYard. We'll even know what it's called.
You know, one of the things that Human Givens teaches is that strong emotions impair logical thinking. And I think you just saw a perfect example of that. I'm kind of relaxed. I'm fairly chilled about this, but it is a little bit nerve-wracking when you're not sure of the tech and it's all a bit of a new thing. And one of the cards that I shall show you, because I know there are 2 versions of the cards that we've published. The first cards that we published were a boxed set of A6 cards. We had 20 cards, and they've been used all over the world very successfully, and they're nice and compact and small, and they work really well. But then last year we published the 2nd edition, and we took the opportunity to make them a bit bigger and to rename them Anxiety Freedom cards, and also we added a few information cards. And one of the information cards that we added, I'm going to do a screen share to illustrate what I just did just then, which was to get slightly emotionally aroused and to forget the name of the system that we were using, which is actually StreamYard. So I'm going to share my screen now and pick, I hope this is going to work, the information images. That's it. And I hope that it's possible to see this black and white card, black and white thinking card. It's probably not good enough to be able to read it. Let me just see if I can tweak things a little bit. Hold on just a moment. I'm going to clear that message. Okay. Black and white thinking. This is what happens when people become emotionally aroused. The way our thinking is affected is that it tends to become polarized. But actually, we become a little bit less able to access subtle shades of grey, and we forget things more easily. And that's what happened when I was trying to remember the name of StreamYard. Anyway, I have a question here from Carmel, who bought the original Illuminate program. How will this help me? And then something I don't quite understand, can't read it. No, okay, can't read the screenshot. I'll do a better screenshot. Let me just find a way of doing this. I'm going to go into my my membership community to pick out the information, the actual, sorry, trying to do two things at once. I'm going to pick out the individual cards rather than the group shot, and pick out the black and white thinking one, which is number 26. And I'm going to open that in a new tab, which is something that you would do if you were working with a client, for instance. You might choose to do this. And then
can I just butt in while you're doing that and
yeah.
just say that these green cards weren't part of the initial in8 cards, but they will be available to you digitally like this if you choose to join the membership. So that is more easy to read than it was.
I hope that's a bit more easy. And that's the kind of thing that we expect people might do. So if you're working with a client remotely and you want to discuss a particular idea, then you might choose to do this kind of thing where you move in or out and show a particular card and then get people talking about what they see in the image in order to spark ideas, get conversations going, and start getting people thinking about how these various ideas impact on their behavior. But to answer Carmel's question, if you bought the original Illuminate program, how will this help me? It will help you because the Illuminate program that is on our website at the moment, which is priced at $397, has a lot of resources within it, as you will know, Carmel. It includes, for instance, 2 workbooks that are normally supplied as PDF files, but they're big books. They're 50-page books with worksheets, with a lot of information, a lot of content. But essentially, the Illuminate program is a kind of buy it once and do it on your own, at your own speed. And that's fine for some people. But one of the things that Bindi and I have been learning and studying about different ways of teaching ideas in an online format is that that model doesn't work brilliantly for a lot of people. Now, it's the way that we've supplied this information in the past, and we're very grateful for the people who've invested in that opportunity and those products that we've done in the past. But we know that people sometimes buy the Illuminate program and then it kind of sits on the shelf because they never quite get around to kind of putting it into practice on a daily or a weekly basis. And the thing about the membership, which is different, is that we hold your hand and we guide you through the process. So rather than just kind of dumping a whole lot of information on you and expecting you to figure out what's important and what order to do things, I mean, there is an order to the Illuminate program, as you know. But with the membership, we can be so much more interactive and we can help people identify where they're at, what the challenges they face, what they want to do next about it, and what steps to take to make that next change. So the idea behind the membership is that, yes, there is an overlap. And in fact, there is a lot of the content will be the same. You're right to assume that. But I think the experience won't be the same, because the experience will be one where we look at a particular issue and then we explore ways of addressing that. And then we share everybody's ideas. And then we check up on whether people are interested in implementing it. And then if they're successful in doing it, we celebrate that success. And if they have problems, then we can address them as they come up. So it's a much more interactive process. It's a much more effective process, I believe. And the idea of people coming for the content but staying for the community is that in the early days of human givens, for instance, just to take, I know not everyone knows about or is interested in human givens, but that is my and Bindi's background. And in the early days, there was a forum. This was mentioned in somebody who asked me questions yesterday. And that forum was quite vibrant for a few years. It's not really vibrant now. I'm not even sure if it still exists. There were some problems, and eventually it became, well, there was a bit of controversy about it as well, which I don't need to go into. But that forum played a role of helping people glue together, sharing each other's experiences, asking questions, getting other people's opinions. And it's that aspect that I think the membership we're aiming to duplicate, because when that works well, it's amazing. And Bindi and I have been members of another membership program in order to learn how to do this. And it's an incredibly supportive community. And one of the things that they do, for instance, in this other membership that we use, and it's not a therapy-based thing, it's more a business-based thing, is they have weekly accountability groups where a small number of people, I think ours was a group of 6 for quite a few months, come together every week, and they say, what's been successful over the last week? What are the challenges that we faced over the next week? What question do we have for the group? And what are we committing to achieving over the next week? Now, not everybody's goal driven like that, but when it comes to using these ideas, for instance, if someone wants to run workshops, but they've never done it yet, then we can actually use that same kind of accountability process to help people make the transition so they're always moving forward. I hope that answers your question, Carmel. There will be commonality in the content, but for instance, the worksheets that are in the workbooks, will be making available within the membership as well. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. I'm going to bring, where's Bindi gone? I'm going to bring you back in. Are you? Oh, there you go. Oh, it's taken the share away. That's fine. So, where are we at now? I'm just going to check the time. It's 7:30. We've answered all the questions that I'm aware of that have been submitted. Have you got any more, Bindi?
I just wondered if you wanted to share the screen. Well, I think something that I'm not sure if you said or not, but I can get away with it because I was doing very important admin and maybe not listening properly. But I just wanted to make sure that you'd said that we would be sharing any of these kinds of formats. So we've tried and tested several video formats, and we will be looking at that so that if we've got people wanting to do any kind of sort of coaching courses using video with their clients, then we would help them work out which would be the best and simplest platform for them to use, where they can show the digital cards as well, or they can hold up the cards on screen, which is the way that we've always done it before. So I wondered if you wanted to share the slides that of the features and benefits of the membership as well, just in case anybody wanted to see those.
Okay. Yes, I haven't prepared that, but I will dig them out and run through them. I've got them right here. So I will start with the benefits, and that's a good one to begin with. So these are the, oops. So I'm just going to share that screen, and oops, stop screen, and share new screen, application window. Here we go. So is that visible, Bindi?
Yes, it's quite small on my screen, and I think it depends how big people's screen is.
Okay. Well, I'll zoom in a bit.
That's better. Yeah, that's okay. Readable.
So one way of looking at this opportunity is that we kind of feel that we need to help people figure out what well-being means in a post-viral world or post-lockdown world. And we honestly believe that this approach will help you and your clients to find ways to live optimistically in times of great change and uncertainty. And we are saying that would be a benefit of being in this membership, because you'll see how other people are coping. You'll see how other people address the various challenges. You know, how do we meet our need for respect when we're in lockdown? Well, there are things that we can do. How do we meet our need for security when we're worried about our income and the future? We're not claiming to have all the answers to the questions, but even knowing which questions to focus on can be really valuable. Another benefit will be that you'll be part of a supportive community. And I mean a community that looks out for each other and that learns together, shares together, and benefits together. It's a community of like-minded individuals, each one making a positive impact on emotional health and well-being, because that's what we're all about. And most of the people watching here are already committed to that in some way. We can use these resources to help people navigate significant life transitions. So this is less the therapy side and more the coping with life side. Both are relevant, but particularly with life transitions. So for instance, changes in your working life, changes to do with this whole lockdown situation, changes due to bereavement, changes in family situations. We think this is a really good way to help people figure out what's important when they're faced with big change in their life. The community will share ideas, we will learn from each other, and everybody will benefit. Our aim, Bindi and myself, is to provide what you need so that you can serve your clients and community more effectively. And we're happy to roll up our sleeves and do whatever it takes to achieve that. We don't come with preconceived ideas about how that might be achieved, but we do have a dream and a vision that we want to share. And we want to join with people who understand the power of these ideas and who are already interested in reaching out to more people, to affect more people, to help more people. As a founder member, I think I said this earlier, you'll be key to shaping the membership, and you'll be building strategic alliances to take these ideas right to the root, or to the heart, I would say, of who you want to serve. And that's whether it's in education, in health, in families, or in other groups and formats. You've heard me talk about carers groups. There's people who do alcohol recovery groups. There's people who do stroke rehabilitation groups. There's all sorts of people using these cards in creative ways. There's a charity you may have seen on some of our publicity material called Brass for Africa. And I've got some lovely photographs of street kids in Kampala in Uganda using the cards. And they don't even speak English, but the ideas are so universal that they get it. They understand what security means, what respect means, what privacy means. And they're using the cards, this charity are using the cards with street kids in Kampala, which I think is amazing. And I really salute the work that they're doing. So yes, taking these ideas to the heart of the groups that you want to serve. So that's some of the benefits. I'd like to change the slide to what we think we know about the features, the way that we're going to be disseminating this, or the methods that we expect to use. And I need to change the screen save to get that. So I'll just add another screen share, application window, features. I think that should be it. Bindi will tell me if it's not visible. So what do you get for your monthly commitment? You get lifetime access to the in8 Cards video library. Now, this is also a component of the Illuminate program that Carmel mentioned earlier on. It's a library of about 5 hours of videos. There's a video for every one of the cards, or at least of the resource and needs cards. We haven't yet produced the videos for the information cards. That's in the pipeline. How much we prioritize that will depend on the input that we get from the membership group. If you're not bothered about it, we won't do it. If you think it's really valuable, we'll do it soon. So that's the kind of thing that where we want to be flexible and tailor it. So lifetime access to that library, and that's about there's about 26 different videos based on the cards, but there are also some other videos about using it with clients, using them with groups, using them for yourself, and various other aspects of it. And we will be adding content of live sessions with real people using the cards, just to sort of share how different people approach it, because everyone has their own unique take on it. And in fact, we encourage people to develop their own unique take on it. There isn't a right way and a wrong way of using the cards. One of the things that we address on our online masterclass is that actually whatever the client says, work with that. That's the best way to start. We will be providing weekly content that you can apply immediately. So you get really quick feedback. You know, somebody comes up with an idea, we share it, you can try it out that week, and then you can feedback to the group, oh, it worked really well, or maybe that wasn't the best thing I ever did. I'm just looking at, I realize I haven't got power on my laptop. I might have to go and get some soon. We will be providing resources that you can use with your clients. That goes without saying. We'll be providing regular updates. There'll be a private Facebook group. The group is created already, but we haven't opened the doors for it yet. That will happen early next week. So there's a private Facebook group. If you're a Facebook user, you can use that as a forum to share ideas. If you're not a Facebook group user, then we might need to look at other ways of accessing that community aspect. There are other possibilities, but I'm hoping that Facebook is the most familiar one, because that's the one that's easiest to set up and we have some experience using. There will be live Q&A sessions. This is an opportunity like tonight where you can ask any question that you've got. Thank you very much, Bendy. And we will do our best to answer it. And if we can't answer it ourselves, we'll get someone else in to answer it for you. So live Q&A sessions on a regular basis. Probably, well, it might be once a week, it might be once a month. What do you want? You know, we're here to serve you. There will be monthly Zoom calls where we can all get together and share ideas and chat. There will be customizable templates for running your own workshops, because we've already done some work in the, you may be familiar, in the Illuminate program. There are some templates there for how would you introduce the cards to your own group, no matter what kind of format that group is. It might be youths, it might be elderly people, it might be people with a common interest, it could be anything at all. And we will be addressing different ways of doing that. Because, you know, it's very different. If you've got an hour with the group, you approach it in a different way than if you're trying to do a half day or even a full day with a group. So we need to make sure that people have templates that work for the conditions they're likely to experience. So if you've got a 2-hour slot, what's the best way of filling 2 hours if you want to introduce the needs cards? We'll be addressing those kind of things. And we think it'll be a great way to get continuous professional development, and it's all for the less than the cost of a single supervision session per month. So those are some of the features. I think I've covered all that. Just checking the questions again. I don't see any new ones come in. Just check on the YouTube group. Do you want to, have you got anything to say, Bindi, while I plug my laptop in?
I don't think I have. I think you've pretty much covered everything. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if anybody's got any questions that come up now or in the next 24 hours or so, because there are 30 hours to go till we actually close the opportunity this time. So we really hope that more of you choose to join us, because actually, even though I'm going to be taking very much a background role in this membership, I will be knowing what's going on, and I will be contributing as and when. And
I would just like to say,
when anybody needs.
Thanks for that. You mentioned that we're closing the doors for the founder member offer tomorrow night, and there is a real deliberate reason for doing that. And that's because once we close the doors, we want to focus on the people who've joined and making sure that we're serving them and that we're engaging them and that we're making it a positive experience. And because there's only 2 of us, it's very difficult to run a sales operation at the same time as running the membership as well. And we know from the other groups that we've studied and the work that we've put in over the last 18 months in particular, that opening the doors to get new members in and then closing them and working with those members is a much more effective and efficient way of helping people than if we try and run both in parallel, like people can join at any time, and we're sort of dealing with admin and sales at one side, but we're also trying to run the weekly content at the other side. No, let's separate them. So tomorrow night at midnight, the doors close. If you're later than that, we're not going to be flexible about it, because we believe in being open and transparent and honouring our word. And if we say we're going to close the doors, we are going to close the doors. So you have until midnight tomorrow, if you're interested, to make up your mind whether you want to go for the monthly subscription or the annual subscription. And we will be around over the next 24 hours. So if you have any further questions, email me, text me, comment either here or comment in the YouTube video. Find one of our emails and give us a phone call, whatever it takes. We're really happy to answer your questions and to address anything, because our aim is to make this to work for you. So we need to know where you're at in order to do that. So Bindi, I'm kind of thinking, I did a screen share earlier on of one of the cards. So I think that sort of demonstrates how you might use it. I just wonder if we should do any more about that just before we wind up, because I don't think we should run this any longer than it needs to be.
I think we gave a demonstration of it. I think people have got an idea. Sorry, I'm scratching. people have got an idea of what they can do on video, and this is the kind of way that, like it or not, we are going to be working more and more in this way. But yes, I like the way that you can just put all the cards up there.
So if you're doing a needs audit with, if Bindi was my client now, for instance, and we were on a call together, and we might be using Zoom rather than this particular, what's it called again?
StreamYard.
I got it in my head. We might put up all the needs cards like that and say, just take a look at these. I'm just going to zoom them in slightly because they look a little bit small. And you might sort of say, I don't know if I've overdone it there. Okay, so I need to scroll down to make it work. But you might say, just take a look at these cards and tell me which ones are relevant in that current situation. And so people would work through it, looking at all of them together to begin with, perhaps. But then if you choose to focus on one, then you can call it that one image full screen and share that. And you can still communicate and talk and chat at the same time. And then once you've done with looking at cards or whatever, you might stop that and come back to talking in the way we have done there. So we would teach you the skills you need to be able to do that so that you can use the cards in a remote online setting. And we think that's valuable. We think that people, well, we know that people are already doing it. And it's effective because these cards really get people thinking, and they really get people to start looking at life from a new perspective. And that's why we're so passionate about doing it.
And within the membership, of course, there will be other people that are wanting to try out new technology, so that the two of you could go and have a go at this between you, so that you can do a bit of practice on each other by using the technology. It doesn't mean you have to teach somebody that they have to do it your way or you have to do it their way, but the technology share would be a really good way of using the membership and the other members within it.
So I think we probably wrap this up because it's 7:45. We wanted to stop before 8 o'clock anyway. I think we've addressed the questions. As I said before, if you have any more, please email me, ring me, whatever, find a way to contact us and we'll be happy to address them. But just to repeat, the offer closes tomorrow at midnight for the founder members. The reason for getting in now is that you're getting in at the ground level. You're going to be involved right from the start, and we will honor the price that you pay for the rest of the time that you stay a member. So if you're still a member in 5 years' time, wonderful, you'll still be paying the same rate that you pay today. We will never put up the founder member rate. That's a promise. We will put up the rate to other people who are not involved right from the start. And this is because we want to incentivize people beginning, because how do you start a community when there's no members? Well, you have to do something that gets a number of people involved right at the start. Once midnight comes tomorrow, the doors will close and we will relaunch in the summer. We haven't set a date yet, but if you're at all interested, I really urge you to take a look at the, I'm going to post the link to the site on
I've just put it in my chat.
Oh, have you? What, in the private chat? Okay, yeah. So if I can't click on that. So let me just.
Can't you take it as a question?
No, I can't take it as a question, apparently. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it in the main chat, and then I'm going to highlight it so that, yeah, this does work well. So that's where you want to go to find out more information. in8uk.carter.com/page/membership-join. It's not good to talk URLs, but if you haven't already visited that, do take a look and make your decision before midnight tomorrow. And we really hope that some of you will choose to join us. We don't mind if it's not your thing. We're not trying to force anything on anybody that doesn't work for them, but we know these ideas work. We've got a good track record. The cards are in use all over the world, and we think now is the time to move to an online format because of the coronavirus situation, and to build a vibrant community of people helping to spread these ideas to make the world a better place. That is our commitment, and we really hope that you can join us on this journey. So with that, I think we'll wind up. Thank you very much, Bindi, for playing the role and bringing my laptop charger, amongst other things. Thank you, Carmel, for being online and for your positive comments. And Dawn. and the other people who I know are watching as well, whose names I don't have, but there are a number of people of you online. So thank you for your time. I will be sending out another email about this tomorrow to our list. As I said before, get back to us if you've got any questions. Have a good evening, and I really hope to join you online virtually sometime soon. Thank you very much.